Coming off a big W, how you feeling?
I feel awesome, man. Another day at the office. Now here just supporting my guys at this local show. Got Lance Palmer next week. It never ends, man. It was my turn, now it's everyone else's.
Talk about that fight.
My fight with John Moraga was awesome, man. He's a tough guy. Nice, great challenge out there, and that's what we do. You know, we go out to fight the best guys in the world. You know, after going in with Moraga, you know, it was just an awesome challenge, tested the skills, you know, pushed me, and made me fight an awesome fight, and I think it was a great fight all around for the fans. So none but respect for him, and always grateful to come out with the win in the UFC. It's always a good night.
It's always good when you can represent your team. Talk about training with Alpha Male and what that's like.
Oh, it's the best, man. Best training partners in the world. You know, I mean, I think, you know, the numbers and stats and everything speak for themselves. You know, how many guys we have ranked at the top, you know, how many guys in the UFC. So it's crazy because in there you can go any given day and you can lose every round. And, you know, you can never be the best in the gym because any given day anyone can be the best. So there's not many places where I can go in and lose every round, you know, or like you're going in with world-class guys every time. So I look at it, you know, like cliche, iron sharpens iron, but it's true. You know, you go in there with the best guys in the world every day. You know, the guys you're fighting aren't going to necessarily be, you know, what you're used to. So it's awesome, man. Plus the camaraderie and just the attitude and the lack of just egos in there. Everyone really wants like the same success for themselves. You know, no one is holding anyone back. Everyone's pushing each other forward. I think that's a big key to our success.
A lot of fighters take offense when you talk about fighting teammates. You guys fight each other in the gym every day. What's that like?
It's awesome, you know, but, you know, we're kind of, like I said, we're pushing each other forward. We're trying to help each other. Most of the times when we are sparring or fighting each other, it's like for help. Like I'm acting like Frankie Edgar or someone's acting like Barao. You know what I mean? It's to get the other guy ready. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to try to beat up Uriah or TJ or whatever, you know. It's always to help someone who has the fight coming forward. And like I said, that I think has a lot to do with our success. Is no one's in there taking cheap shots and trying to beat each other. It's like when we spar with each other, we know how to push each other and go hard, but making each other better. And you know, there's like also a stat, like we have the smallest percentage of pulling out of fights, which we never pull out of fights, and there's a reason for that, because you know we go in and we spar hard, but we take care of each other, you know, while we're sparring, and because we care about each other. And that goes a long way in the sport, you know, because you're in there alone, so to have that support system is just incredible.
So does it upset you when people ask you if you'd fight your teammates?
I mean, it doesn't upset me because that's an interesting question. So anyone doing their job is going to obviously wonder that. So I mean, it's like whatever. I'm used to answering it, and you know, for my sake, that has kind of passed for me because you know, at 35, yeah, it was cool when for people to ask me, oh, would I fight Faber or TJ or whoever was there. At 25 now, I'm the lone guy, so I don't even have to deal with those questions anymore. You know, it's more of a TJ and Faber thing now, so they can deal with that madness. You know, poor Uriah is always in it, but you know.
Do you get stuck in the middle of that? You know,
I don't have to. Well, yeah, people will still ask me, even though I'm not in the situation. Like, well, what about them fighting each other? And it's just like. And it's just like, I don't know, ask them. I'm not them, but I mean, I already do know the answer, and if you look anywhere on the internet, you know the answer, but it's an interesting question because that's obviously a dream fight for anybody to watch.
Yeah.
But go on, Team Alpha Male, Ultimate Fitness, any Wednesday, and watch it for yourself.
Got an up-and-coming star in Paige VanZant. Can you tell what it's like having her around?
Oh, she's awesome, man. She adds, you know, that different aspect to the gym, which is a girl, a little more carefree, and you know what I mean? Like, everyone has a good attitude, but, you know, it's just different, like, having a girl there that's also a stud. You know, everything's, not that she's delicate, but it just makes everything just so much more light and fluffy and clouds and flowers and, like, all that stuff. But she's awesome, man. She's intense, and she blends in perfectly, you know, as the alpha female there. Just hard worker, scrappy, you know, obviously great at press and all that stuff. And she's a star in the making, man. So it's just awesome to have her represent. Like, you know, there wouldn't be a better girl to come represent Team Alpha Male as a female, as being our only, you know, kind of up-and-coming female. So she's awesome. I think she's going to do big things in the sport. She's improving every day, you know, skill-wise.
Does the team hold back with the guy talk in the gym when she's around, or is she just like one of the guys?
Dude, you got to get used to it. You know, if you're there, you're going to hear it. You know, if she can walk away if she doesn't, but no one holds anything back. You know, we look at Paige as a teammate or anyone there. It's not only Paige. I feel bad because sometimes there's just like a random mom or like girlfriend of the gym in there, and we're still doing gym talk, and I look over, I'm like, oh my god, that's like that kid in the kids class, that's his mom. You know what I mean? So Paige is right in the midst of it, but sometimes you just don't know any better, you know? You can't really stop yourself, so you got to take it if they're in the gym. That's how it goes.
I want to talk to you a little about the Reebok deal. A lot of fighters are unhappy with it. Some are happy with it. How is it affecting you?
Dude, I am one of the many. Financially, I understand it only probably benefits like what, 10% of the guys. Maybe there's a small percentage that benefits financially. Talking to me, it actually does benefit me financially. The tier I'm in, which is like right now the 15 grand tier, is actually more than I ever made in sponsors in like the last years. Like since before my title fight with Demetrius, which rightfully so I should make over 15 grand, but I never made that in sponsors ever, and now I'm making that being a veteran in the sport. So obviously that part of it, which most people are looking at as the most important part, because you know it's money and that's what people think is everything important, but the people that it's not benefit need to look at it, you know, the sport as a whole, and we're a part of, you know, a turning the tide in the sport right now, where we're trying to change and become, you know, bigger than, you know, the companies that are sponsors already, and move forward. So, you know, everyone just needs to look at it as it's the right thing moving forward for the sport. You know, the sport's still new, and we're like the start of it. You know, when it was like ABA going to the NBA, you know, I'm sure some people, you know, there's always something. So we're just that group of people. You know, in 5 years when people come in and they start with their 1 fight deal all the way to 5, they're not going to even think about it, because that's the way it is. You know, you come in, you're a rookie, this is what you get paid. You come in, you put in your fights, you put in your time, you get the money. So in a few years it won't even think. So it's just the right thing moving forward right now. But also that's easy to say because it benefits me. But I'm a big fan of like the clean look for the sponsors and stuff. Like, I'm sometimes annoyed when I have a sponsor that like I don't believe in or know anything about it. Like, I feel like I'm cheating myself and the fans. Like, if I have to put something out there that like I'm like selling my soul almost, just like for a few $1,000 bucks, like I don't even know what this is. I'm gonna tell all my fans to go on and click on this link, you know, whatever. So I always enjoy supporting companies that I like and like to support me. So Reebok's obviously an amazing brand, and they want to support the sport of MMA, so it's easy to do. But I was always a fan of that clean stuff, like the clean look anyway. Like, I've turned down sponsors just because I was like, they're going to give me $500 to like eat that crap, and like that's not me. I'm not going to like give that to my fans or wear that on my butt because I don't know what it means. So for me, it's just it's a no-brainer. I like the deal.
And 2 more questions before I let you go.
Sorry, I went on a little long.
No, all good, all good.
There's a lot to cover on that.
It's definitely a broad topic, and it's a hot one as well. If you could change one thing in the UFC or in MMA in general, whether it's rules, judging, anything like that, what would the Joseph Benavidez change be?
That's a nice question. Honestly, easy answer is the kind of the sponsor thing. I think that's awesome. I think that was a great change moving forward. But that change has already happened, so that's actually one of the best things. Because, dude, going back to it, I would always get so annoyed just seeing this and that. Like, no other team has that. Why do they have this random Mexican restaurant or like random company? So that's a cool change, you know, to happen, which is cool. Other than that, I mean, I think the next glaring, you know, problem in MMA is probably the judging. But that's a work in progress always, you know. At the end of the day, it's a hard sport to judge. You know, there's so much stuff going on, and it's so subjective to look at it because there's a wrestling, there's this, there's that. So, you know, it's always going to be hard for a ref either way. But as the sport becomes older, you know, you're going to get more people educated coming in, and hopefully guys that have some MMA experience and can judge a little properly. So I think that's good. The other thing I honestly don't enjoy is maybe rules for missing weight. I think that's a big thing. Like, by not making weight, you're basically saying you don't want to fight. Like, you're putting the fight in danger because it's only up to the guy after that to say, yes, I want to take the fight. You know, so by the guy not making weight is basically saying, like, I'm not going to fight, and then the other guy obviously saves the fight. So I think that's a big thing, and there should be some kind of penalty for that. I love the change with the in the UFC anyway with the drug testing rules. You know, I think steroids and performance-enhancing drugs are just, it's zero tolerance. It should be in MMA. You know, we're not going for records and distance and time. Like, we're trying to hurt each other, and it should be zero tolerance, and they're taking the right thing with that. So we're moving forward, man. We're moving forward. Everything's going good, and obviously the guys that run the UFC are amazing, have a big part with it. So sports just growing, man. I just love to be a part of it.